What's going on, champs and champets? It's FireMonkey here, and the brand new Chapter 6 Season 1 Hunter Season trailers officially came out, being both the cinematic trailer right here and the gameplay trailer. So in today's YouTube video, we're actually going to go over both of these with you guys, break them down, talk about little spots we notice in this trailer, and then just kind of discuss whatever else we need to discuss. So without further ado, I feel like we shouldn't start with the gameplay trailer, but instead we should start with the cinematic trailer first. And then of course, after we watch this, we'll break it down, then we'll go over to the gameplay trailer. So here it is, and you know what, I might kind of like talk over it because there's no actual voice acting going on here. This is my first time actually looking at the trailer in this form, right? You know, actually watching it and seeing it, because I haven't actually watched this yet, so, okay, you know, we gotta say that towards the end, right? But of course, this is the brand new trailer for the new season, and it looks very visually pleasing. As someone who went to Japan earlier this year, I am excited to see a Japan-themed season kind of going on in the game, with a lot of that mythology and stuff happening as well. And man, there's so many points here where I want to just pause it and talk about certain things, but we gotta save it till after this trailer's over, right? But you can see a lot of like cool little stuff going on here, and I think it's really cool to see that we're getting both a gameplay and cinematic trailer this time around, instead of just a gameplay trailer, which I think they've done for the past few seasons now. Seeing both kind of being put in the game at the same time just kind of shows that they're ramping up that production and ramping up how much effort they're putting into this new season. Now, as we can see, we got a lot of stuff they're kind of teasing here, and whoa, okay, hold on, anyway, he's way bigger than the normal skin. Was that the tracker pistol? Like the Titanfall-esque pistol? Was that what she was using? Is that returning? Okay. Alright, yeah, and then we have the end there. However, I think there's another part. No, it's in the other trailer. Alright, so with that said, let's go ahead and start breaking down little bits and pieces of this trailer and talk about things I want to talk about. So first off, we have this mention right here of Reality 783. When Donald Mustard kind of left Epic Games and everything else, we thought this whole entire concept of realities existing in Fortnite was just kind of getting scrapped or whatever else, because we have seen, like, when we went to the OG map or whatever, it was kind of called Reality Zero, and we had kind of been stuck on Reality Zero as far as I'm aware. I haven't kept up with the lore too much for quite some time, so seeing that we're in a different reality once again is very interesting to actually see them doing here. We have this weird little, is this like a pod or is this just a rock? I think that's a little like pod that's kind of like falling down from the sky. You can see it hitting right there. We also get a great view of the map right here with this like bridge. You know, we got a lot of like cherry blossom trees, a lot of different areas kind of going on, a mountainous area, of course, towards like the top right. And you know, it gets a nice little view. We even have the battle bus just kind of like sitting right there, and it's moving forwards. Okay. So whatever that rock is, it kind of hits this area, opens up this portal where we can see a few different skins. Now, all the skins in the background right here are skins that we've actually had released in the item shop before. Of course, there's like that Firewalker skin that was kind of like a red tiger type of skin that was released for one of the events or something before. And then we have a new skin that might be in the battle pass, and I'm pretty sure it is right here in the center front, which seems to be like a bad force on this area. Now, if we actually look at the start of the cinematic right here, we can see a few different things going on. We have like a whole entire bus going through, so maybe instead of having trains like we had before, maybe they're gonna have like a bus station type of system, or maybe it's just for the cinematic to be all cinematic-y. Right here on the left, of course, we have a new restaurant, which is kind of like a sushi restaurant, and then on the top right, we kind of got one of those old props from the not mega season, but when we had like Neo tilted and that type of stuff. We have one of those props being brought back into this new season to add into the aesthetics. Down here, we see a lot of different characters kind of just standing around. You can see just some of the decoration. You know, there isn't really too much to mention from this part right here, but it is nice to see a little glimpse of the area we'll be able to run around in. It gives me a lot of vibes from the mega season once again, and I mean, even over here we see little like stands and stuff that are advertising different little local restaurants and whatnot that use some of the Fortnite characters like Meowscles, mind you, for the actual advertisement. Now, as we go through here, we see a little like chase scene, and then this amazing scene. Now, I wanted to point out something here other than the fact that Fish Stick's about to get chopped up and served as sushi, but we have a little lucky rabbit type of thing going on. Now, of course, they're usually the lucky cats or whatever, but it's interesting to see how they're kind of mixing it up. Maybe there's like, I don't think there's any type of like copyright on a lucky cat. I could be wrong there, but it is nice to see that kind of aesthetic going here with Fortnite's original take on it. And then, of course, you got the fish, you got all the sushi and all that type of stuff around him. And I should probably actually mention that, a new skin, a new mascot. I kind of talked about this the other day when I was talking about videos. Maybe like a sushi Durburger mascot, boom, it appears we are going to be getting it. Now, he is not set to be in the battle pass as far as I'm aware, so he should be an item shop skin later down the line, but it is interesting to see. My theory is actually coming true, and they are doing like a Durr Burger sushi mascot for this actual restaurant brand. Now, as we continue going through here, we get to see a nice little glimpse of Baymax. However, the interesting thing here is that he has a variant that we didn't actually see in the key art, which is like a samurai-themed variant. There's obviously like this kind of end-of-the-road type thing with the giant alleyway wall and all that going on. Over here on the right side, you just got one of the birds eating some food, but it is nice to see that Baymax is going to get some new variant support with this season. We see a lot of little like jumping upwards, which is something that we will talk about a little bit later in terms of new movement, but if we look right here, actually there are a few things to point out. In the distance, we have this little like fish dog restaurant type thing, you know, fish dog, sushi dog, I don't know what you want to call that, but it's like a half Shiba dog type thing, half like fish in the background, so maybe that will end up being related to a scene later down the line. You even have a little llama just chilling right there, you know, some little advertisements up in the top right, which is kind of like advertised sushi, but you get this nice little view of another rooftop area that kind of is like a patio you would see whenever you go to like one of those fancier buildings or whatever else that have like grills, places to sit and everything else on the top of their building. You see a nice little like entrance to another area over here, but overall they've done a lot with the whole detailing of this area and making sure that all of it really has an aesthetic that fits. We see this creature right here, which I'm not for sure what he's supposed to be, but he seems animated with the fact that he kind of like looks around and moves, and we have the little spirits or sprites that are supposed to be a part of the season as well that you can have on your team, or you can kind of just ignore, but we can kind of see them just kind of running through this area. Not much to mention from right here, except for the fact that, oh, you know, we just gotta see the giant turtle they were on top of, because this is set to be moving around the map a little bit from what I've heard, and you will be able to actually be on top of it. You'll be able to loot stuff on top of the turtle as it moves around, but it might start off at the start of the season being stationary, or maybe by moving around what they mean is every few weeks once there's a new update, they move it during downtime and it's not actually moving during the match itself. We go up here, we can see a nice glimpse of some characters. Let's see, yeah, towards the bottom we have some of the older skins and stuff, you know, like the Summer Meowscles skin. I keep getting their names mixed up, but we have the new Battle Pass skin right here. We of course have the new Hope skin right there as well, and a portal that showcases a giant enemy to actually fight. Now, I think the important thing to mention here is when we actually look at the weapons being used, we have the return of the kinetic blade right here in his hand, but we also have the return of that tracker pistol where it kind of locks on, or maybe it's a lock-on pistol, something like that, which gives me a lot of Titanfall vibes, but it's nice to see that that pistol is returning for the season, and the kinetic blade returning for the season just makes sense. Now, in terms of the weapon she's using right here, I'm pretty sure that's not an actual weapon, but instead that's a pickaxe. You know, they're just kind of making it a nice little cinematic right here, but it's cool to see the fight actually go on. And oh wait, we have a nice SMG shot to kind of show there. So you can see the SMG. I'm not for sure if that's an old one or a new one, but I'll leave that for you guys to discuss down below. But overall, there's a lot of stuff jam-packed into the cinematic trailer itself. But this isn't the only trailer that has stuff we have to break down. So if we go over here, the gameplay trailer has even more stuff. Now for this one, I will go ahead and play certain scenes, but I will, you know, stop and rewind it as we go through it, instead of just sitting there and being like, yep, I can't wait to talk about this, because there is a lot to kind of talk about. Now this scene right here kind of rapidly goes away, but we can see a nice little introductionary area to this little like biome. You can see a lot of the flowers. You can even see one of those like portal things that we saw in the cinematic trailer where one of the characters came out of, including that boss. So maybe it'll be randomized every few matches you play to have a different area type of thing going on with it. So as you can see, you know, there's a lot of nice little cinematic teasers and bits and pieces here. We got a nice look at that bridge, and even the mountain off in the distance, which looks like it's shaped like it could be a volcano later down the line. Maybe we could have volcanoes returning in Fortnite for like an event or something. You can see the whoa, okay, wait, I want to go back to make it a little brighter here. You can see the turtle right here and how he's like actually alive with the sprites on top of him, but you can also see one of those like Kevin floating islands off in the distance. I didn't even notice that the first time. Obviously I didn't look at all of this too much. I looked at the gameplay trailer beforehand, but that was on my phone, so I didn't really see it in the high def quality. But that's interesting to see floating islands being here once again. So as we go through here, we get to see a nice little glimpse of one of the skins that are in the battle pass. You can see kind of like the normal variant right here, and then it flashes, unless, is that flat? Okay, yeah, it is a different variant, because if you look here at the beginning, it actually has kind of like gold on the little side shoulder blade or whatever, but here you can see it's like a blue aura type thing. So it's nice to see that new skin. Over here we actually get to see Baymax just kind of, you know, punch in the air. And what skin is that? Before it like puts them, okay, this is one of the skins that was in the key art right here. But you can see we have little like Oni mask, the different demon masks you're able to actually equip on your character that you'll be able to find from fighting those bosses. Right here you can even see a lot of the characters' details and stuff, some of the new guns. So this looks like a revamped P90 PDW in a way, which is interesting. We got a shotgun over here, we have that assault rifle we talked about before, and of course that little blade right here, and then we got like a shrine off in the distance. And look at this is a nice view of the whole entire season. I want to get it right before the actual text pops up just so we can see like the mountain off in the distance and everything, but it does look like that is, okay, yeah, that's gotta be a volcano that you can't actually go to. I thought it was a part of the map. It looks like it's off in the distance, as you know, like a set piece type thing, how we've seen mountains off in the distance before, but it might actually be an interactive part of the season later down the line. But you can see how big the like mountainous snowy area over on the top right is compared to the current season we have. And then of course in the bottom right we got another one of those little like sprites. This one looks like a slurp sprite type of thing. But as we go through here you can see another sprite. Actually that one is more of like a rocky, whitish, watery one, I guess. I don't know what you would really say. Yeah, this one is definitely slurp. You can see a little slurp bubble. But this one looks more just like air or something, which is interesting. And we actually, if we go back here real quick, and the reason I have it muted is because I think the audio is copyrighted, so not taking any risk, but these little flowers have a blue like aura or mist coming off of them. So as we go through here, you know, get another glimpse of everything going on. We actually get to see, if we go back a little bit, this skin right here, which is actually not a part of the battle pass as far as I'm aware. However, it is going to be a new shop skin. So it is interesting to see one of the new shop skins being seen off in the distance. Of course, we have that little whole entire track thing that I thought might have been for a bus. Maybe that's actually for like trains, right? Maybe it is a train that just looks like a bus. Actually, it could be like a transit system. I remember when I was in Japan earlier this year, I can actually see it. I can see what they're doing here. You know, maybe like a bullet train or something like that. But we get a nice little glimpse of everything going on. However, this is where it gets interesting. You may notice they jumped off of a massive height and didn't just die to fall damage. They rolled. This is going to be a new movement feature releasing in the new season to kind of help prevent fall damage, where I assume if you press a button at the right time after falling from a high distance, you can roll or tumble in order to take less to no damage at all, which is very interesting to actually see. We can see a new car looking thing, kind of, I think that's a new car. Maybe it's one we already have in the game, but a new vehicle kind of like driving around, and even behind that you can see one of the old little like SUV trucks in the background right there, meaning both of the vehicles as expected are still going to be here in this season. Over here in this area you can see that wall running appears to be improved, so instead of having it where you had to have like the little ledge that you actually like grab on and then you jump up more from, you're actually going to be able just to kind of like kick yourself up a little bit higher. I assume you won't be able to wall run up like a massive height or anything, but you do have a nice little distance. Now in terms of other stuff right here, you can see the sprites, you can see the little like portal, whatever it was, that thing right there, and you can even see, if we go forward a little bit here, a nice look at one of the guns from the season, and you can see, is that one of the, like the NPC henchmen or whatever right there that she attacked? I could be wrong. Maybe that's just Doom. I could be wrong there. Now right here with this part, there isn't really too much to mention except for the fact that you can apparently put the sprites on your back like a back bling and take them out or hold them in your hand. We have a look of Baymax's emote right here, which is the little like thing, and you think even if we unmute it right here, you can hear it. Yeah, the ba-la-la-la. You can even see the other non-samurai variant of Baymax right there, which is pretty nice to see. And then as we go forwards here, we got one of those little like Oni temples with the giant demon mask up in the sky. And okay, yeah, here's the henchmen. I thought they looked like the Doom henchmen from the current season, but it does look like they're their own little like Oni henchmen, demon henchmen, or whatever you want to call them right there. We have a nice glimpse of like the outside area, but it looks like you'll have to do a mini boss fight where you have to fight one of the characters as a boss, and then you have to actually fight the giant mask up in the sky, and once you defeat that mask, you actually gain that mask and you can use it while attacking other people, as you'll be able to see right here. You can equip it and you can use whatever that mask ability was during the fight as your actual ability while attacking other people. And wait, there's another thing to mention here other than just that, right? You may have noticed, but there was more than just simply wall running or anything else. This is bouncing off of walls diagonally to kind of get that extra movement effect in place, and it does appear appear like that's going to be something you'll be able to do this season, which is really, really cool. It seems like they're doing a lot more with the movement, with that tumbling, the new like wall climbing type of thing, and now wall jumping. So that's super interesting to see. And then of course you have this nice little battle against one of the giant enemies in the game. I assume after you kill like the giant form, you'll actually end up getting that blade right there he's holding, which Hope is actually holding as well, and you'll be able to use that as a melee weapon for the rest of the match. I assume there's only going to be one because it might be super overpowered, but after that, there's actually something else here. Now, I will point out something from this edit, like this in screen right here, but we'll have to go ahead and watch the second part first. You can see Godzilla is going to be a boss on the island. Look how detailed that is, first off. Insanely detailed. And he'll go ahead and have his whole entire like little POI area. If we look right here, for example, you can see we have like the Monarch little like blimp or balloon type of thing right there. We even have what might be a new car that drove by, but it is super interesting to see how big Godzilla is going to be on the island. But more importantly, if we go back here to this screen, you may remember we talked about leaks before where Godzilla and King Kong were supposed to kind of battle it out on the island, and it does appear like that's going to be happening because according to leakers, it's actually going to be coming in this season, a Godzilla x Kong battle. But more importantly, if you look at the very bottom here, you'll see Godzilla x Kong, the new Empire TM 2024 Legendary as a copyright, which means that the copyright they have isn't just for Godzilla, but it's also for Kong, or King Kong, from the exact same movie. So most likely, considering the fact that Godzilla is said to be a boss on the island and a skin later down the line, we might be getting King Kong as a boss on the island, or maybe for an event or something, King Kong versus, Godzilla. They'll be wrecking up the island and stuff, which is what leaks such as the Xbox Era podcast people have actually said before. And maybe we'll end up getting King Kong as a skin as well. I mean, it would work well considering we have stuff like Beast Boy with his like gorilla form as a skin already. So it's just a matter of time until we get to see all this actually release. But it's super duper interesting to see everything go down, and I'm excited to see what happens during this season because there's just so much that you're able to pick apart. I mean, keep in mind, with this 1 minute long actual gameplay trailer and this 1 minute 16-second long cinematic trailer, we managed to somehow get like a 17-minute video out of it, right? And I probably missed some of the stuff that are actually in here. I mean, over here you can see like a statue of the giant guy you can fight. You can see some of the variants of the skins and stuff. Now, we've already gone over the key art before and everything, but there's probably even more I missed that we haven't fully gone into detail with that you could still spot during these different trailers. So feel free in the comments down below to try spotting different things and letting everyone else know what is going on with this new season even more than maybe I knew about. Like even right here, if we look once again, we can see that train. So yeah, it actually is supposed to be a train. It's not a bus thing. It's an actual like transit system like you have in Japan, or maybe it's in other places as well. It's not really anywhere near me where I live that we actually have this type of system. You can see that you have the little boxes right by the webcam, and I'll actually go ahead and move the webcam for you guys to see this, that you'll be able to actually capture similar to how the old trains worked, and you'll be able to get loot from it. And then even right here in the middle, you can see there's a whole entire like zip line that you're able to ride across or grind rail, whatever you want to call it, in order to get from the buildings over there to the actual station. Now, of course, building is enabled, as you can see right there in the bottom left, buildings right there. I mean, we could even talk about the fact that there's explosions going off. If we look back a little bit, we can see it's an actual RPG explosion, meaning the rocket launcher should be in this season as well. So overall, it looks like there is a lot of stuff that you can still spot from this that I haven't even specifically spotted or talked about in today's video. With that said, however, I hope you champs and champions enjoyed it. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and until next time, peace out.